sound. Hello and welcome everybody. It's great to see you all again online today. My name is Suzi von Mensenkampff. This is the end of week 3 of our online meditations at 5 GMT and 9 a.m. Pacific, and brought to you by McLean Meditation Institute based in Santa Barbara in California. And I am based in Cork in Ireland. And I am a meditation teacher, course advisor, and on the faculty with MMI. I'm also a Chopra teacher, and I teach yoga, meditation, and Ayurveda. And every day this week, we've been looking at a book by the beautiful Sarah McLean, who's walking on the beach whoops at the moment. And it's The Power of Attention, Awaken to Love. So as people are joining the call, I usually just share something from the book. So I'm near the end of, I think it's chapter 2, and I'm looking at the power of rituals. So I see that Sarah has typed in a more formal introduction in the chat, so you can check that out if you're new to the call. And I was thinking about rituals after reading that part of the chapter today, and it's really powerful because when we ritualize something, we give it a lot of our attention. So we've been talking about the power of our attention obviously all week. So a ritual is something that you do with great attention. So a lot of mindfulness practices can be turned into rituals. So I was thinking about, like Sarah describes in the book, how when she was working in the Zen monastery and she was the cook, the ritual of, kneading the bread or chopping the vegetables. And like as a Zen cook, you had to really bring your full attention to the activity you were doing while you were doing it with your non-judgmental attention. That's actually like the definition of mindfulness. So I wanted to ask you just to think about rituals that you do every day. Like it could be brushing your teeth, walking your dog, making your coffee, sitting down, eating your breakfast. Think of just the really ordinary activities that you do every day, the simple day-to-day stuff, and how we do actually automatically ritualize some of them. I know for me, the whole coffee is like a sacred ceremony for me to get that in, I like it a certain way, in a certain cup, with the oat milk, I'm very particular about how I like it. So I really ritualize something that I like to do. So think about something that just sets you up nicely in your day, and how you can really bring that attention to it, bringing that full level of mindfulness, which is being fully present with that activity while you're doing it. But the key part, I think, that sometimes we forget is with our non-judgmental attention. And that's really where mindfulness is at, not judging it, and just being present with what is. And obviously to ritualize ordinary activities is really another way how you can start to train your attention in activity. So now we're going to train your attention in the meditation practice. Now this could become your ritual. This could be your afternoon ritual, your, as Sarah calls it, your, what does she call this? Your happy hour meditation. This is what she calls this, because we're doing it at happy hour in Europe. It's 5 o'clock. But in the States, it's your morning ritual, because if you're in Pacific time, it's 9 a.m. So this is your morning ritual, part of your setup now for, especially now that we're all self-isolating and staying home and social distancing. It's really good, the power of ritual, the power of, like in Ayurveda, we say it's really good at times of uncertainty to create routine. So at times of uncertainty, Vata is the nature that kind of starts to move when we don't know when things are going to happen, or how long are we going to be stuck in here, when are we going to get out again, when will we see our loved ones again. That creates a lot of unease in us because we don't have answers to that, and nobody can tell us, nobody knows. So this is a really time when Vata can just really hammer your system with those uncertainties. So how do we balance that Vata? We balance it by creating a really solid routine. Go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time, eat regularly, really look after your, like what we talked about yesterday, self-care. These self-care rituals are the key to keeping what we call in Ayurveda the Vata balanced. And I thought about it and I thought, well, ritualizing that self-care is how you bring the mindfulness into that practice. So I've seen now that we're up to 42. We have a good few on. So I'm going to start the meditation in a few minutes, and we'll talk a little bit more about ritual at the end, because I'd love you to share how, you know, how you could kind of make a ritual out of your daily simple activities. I made a few notes here, like what rituals do is they anchor our attention and they clarify our intentions. So I think it's good to choose one. And there are times when you'll just absolutely pay your full attention to the task while you're doing it. So we call that monotasking. When we talk about mindfulness, it's a monotask. You're not making your coffee, thinking about everything else. You do every part of it. You smell the beans, you know, every part of that ritual that you choose, you do it with complete full attention on what you're doing while you're doing it. And so try one. We look at how you can do it afterwards when we finish our practice. You might be inspired, but it's good to think about something that you do every day and making a ritual out of it. Even setting yourself up now for this practice, it's part of our ritual now. Some of you will notice you like to sit in the same place, you know, get a cushion or a blanket. You know, it's really just like, put your mask on now, and you know, we're going to take all the time we're going to come fully into the present moment, and we're going to just settle our own system. So what we're doing is we're learning how to self-soothe, especially at a time of uncertainty. So this is very soothing. Place the blanket on yourself, really, you know, with full awareness of where you need it, placing any cushions behind you or underneath you. If you need something under your feet, do that. You know, if you need to close the window or open the window, you know, it's really now about, let's ritualize this practice as we do it today. And once you feel cozy and safe and comfortable, we begin to withdraw our awareness. So as I said to you, the first one we do is usually with our eyes. We'll close our eyes. So that's where we just withdraw from all the visual stimulus that's around us. So you don't get to look at my face anymore. You just get to hear my voice, for example. So as you close your eyes. And then the next sense we withdraw is the sense of touch. So once you've adjusted that blanket, your cushion, just feel where you connect with your environment, where your physical body, like your feet, touch the floor, how your back is supported, how your hands rest on your lap. And again, once that's all settled nicely, you can withdraw from that sense of touch. As you softly close your mouth, you're going to withdraw from tasting anything. So maybe there's the remnants of your breakfast or your coffee or your lunch or whatever still in there. You know, just softly close your mouth now and release all the tastes as we withdraw our sense of taste. And then the next one we do will be our sense of sound. So listen to whatever sounds are really far away, maybe outside. And then notice the sounds that are in the building, maybe, or in the room. Maybe the sound of your computer or something in another room. And then start to draw that awareness so that you're just hearing the sound now that you're focusing your attention on at the moment is the sound of my voice for the guidance for the practice. Become aware of the sound of your breath. And we gradually use that withdrawal of our hearing to draw that awareness inward. And then the sense of smell is the other one that we're going to withdraw. So of the 5 senses, we just gradually withdraw from each of those stimulations or stimulus. So just notice any particular smells in the room, around your person, your fabric of your clothes. Maybe you're burning a nice candle there or some incense. Maybe you're baking bread. And just notice that even how powerful the scent is, even the suggestion of the smell of baking bread, it conjures up a lot of information in your mind. So that's why we want to withdraw from that sense now, because we're going to move from that busy mind that's active and stimulated by our environment as we draw our awareness inward. And for the next few minutes, we'll use the breath as the anchor or the focus of this part of the practice. And just taking the next few minutes to simply observe the breath as it is in its natural state. You're not trying to make it do anything. Just be curious, be open. Is it loud? Is it faint? Is it soft or slow, fast, shallow, deep? Becoming aware of whether it's warm or cool, where the breath meets the physical body. And notice now how you really are focusing all of your attention on your breathing, on your breath in its natural state. And we're going beyond the mind now, because we keep coming back to the breath in its most natural state, as it is right here, right now. And with your focused attention on your breath, begin to notice how your mind begins to slow down and how your body begins to relax and settle. Scan your body now and notice if there's any tension that you're holding still. Notice your feet, your ankles, your legs. Move your awareness up the front of the body and then up the back of your body, across your shoulders, down both arms into your hands, with the intention now to relax your whole body and release any accumulated tension there. Become aware of your throat, your neck. And then notice all the parts of your head, the back of your head, the sides, both ears. Your eyes are softly closed now. Your mouth is softly closed. Your jaw is completely relaxed. Just feel the softness in your cheeks, your forehead, the top of your whole head. And from here, bring your awareness to the tip of your nose. Notice the air as it goes in. And then notice the difference of the air as it comes out with the exhale. And for the next few minutes, follow your breath inward. Use your breath as the vehicle of your attention and travel inward on each breath now, observing the spaces that it occupies within you and the spaciousness within you. Notice how each breath fills your chest, your belly, as they gently rise with each inhale. And then the gentle movement, it's so subtle as the breath goes out. The gentle fall or the contraction with each exhale. And now notice the pauses between each inhale and each exhale. Allow your attention to notice each of these moments between each breath as it goes in and each breath as it goes out. And from here, allow your breath now to move your awareness into the center of your chest and connect with the heart, your center of love and compassion. For the next few moments, meet your breath at the heart space in a heart-centered breath. And maintaining your awareness at the heart, let's do a self-inquiry practice now by asking the soul questions. Simply ask the question silently to yourself and imagine it's like a seed that you're planting in this fertile soil of your heart space. You're not looking for the answers because you know that the answer will meet the question in due course, most likely outside of this practice, whilst in activity. So feeling that presence in your heart. Ask now, who am I? Who am I? Let that go. What do I want? What do I really, really want? Without answering, simply ask the question, planting it like a seed. What do I want? What is my purpose? What is my purpose, or how can I help and serve? What's my purpose here today? And the last question is, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? Plant that now like a seed. And like all seeds, let it go. And we'll trust that the answer will meet those questions in due course. We'll begin a mantra practice now, and I invite you to use the mantra, I trust. I trust. And leave lots of space between the repetition of the mantra. Repeat the mantra slowly. And we'll continue to repeat the mantra, I trust. Imagine that it's fertilizing the seeds in your heart. I trust. Continue like this for a few more minutes while I watch the time. And now let's release that repetition of the mantra, I trust, and maintain the stillness and silence, keeping your eyes closed for one more minute, just sit in your own presence, feeling that connection with your heart. And as we begin to bring the practice to a close, I'm going to share a saying with you. The saying has been attributed to Buddha, to Tolstoy, and even to Deepak Chopra. But the saying claims that the most important moment is now. The most important activity is the one you are engaged in. And the most important person is the one in front of you. And as we seal this practice, I invite you now to take a long, slow, deep breath in and draw your hands together in prayer position, Pranamasana, in front of your heart, gently pressing the backs of your thumbs against your breastbone. Really feel with that presence, that stillness, that silence within you. Feel how you have been cultivating your attention here throughout this whole practice that we now know and have shared together. Taking another long, slow, deep breath in together. Feel the expansion of your heart space, and then release your hands, taking a big, long stretch. Stretching your hands and your fingers, your toes, all the way out to the extremities as you slowly release the hands, release the breath, and just rest before opening your eyes and resuming activity for as long as you need. And when you feel ready and up for it, you can slowly look back up at your screen, and hopefully you see all the beautiful faces that I see, and see all the people that you shared this lovely practice with. And when I was reading the book this afternoon, you know, one of the beautiful benefits of a daily ritual and a daily meditation, in part of that ritual, is you become very alert and aware of coincidences. So I don't know whether you've been noticing it, but you know, you could be thinking about something and then it'll come up in a movie, or a song will come up, or you just see that thing. So the more we practice this kind of cultivating our awareness and our attention, you definitely become much more aware of what we consider coincidences or synchronicities. And you kind of start to see the world through new eyes, I think, fresh eyes, when we open our eyes, and you start to see kind of the wonder around you. And this is a beautiful time of year. It really, like, spring has really sprung here. I don't know what it's like where you are, but there's beautiful flowers and there's birds that I'm hearing that I never heard before. So I'd love you to share anyone who feels inspired by today to really ritualize one of their morning routines, is something that they do regularly. I'd love to hear from you. So we have a few minutes if you want to unmute yourself and share, or if there's something else you want to share, the floor is yours. God, they're all very quiet today.
Morning, or good, it's noon in Florida. Hi, I'm Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi. Ever since I got an electric toothbrush, that has been one of the most important tools I own, because you got 2 minutes timed, to do 30 seconds in each quadrant. And I use that time. I have a series of stretches. So if I don't go to the gym, it doesn't matter. I don't go to the gym. I'm lying. I don't do it very often. But what I do is every morning I brush my teeth. And every single morning I do stretches. I do cat cow, I touch the floor, whatever it is. That toothbrush 2 minutes is my ritual. Oh,
Oh,
and then the second thing is this is the physicality, because I don't like going to the gym. That's the truth. To qualify for my second cup of coffee, I have to do a plank for 30 seconds while it's being brewed. I have 30 seconds of plank. So those are my rationalizations why I don't have to go to the gym. I do 2 things every day anyway. Thank you.
that's great. And it's just that 2 minutes. That's what's beautiful. Rituals can be super short, but it's the presence that you bring to the practice. Cool. Anybody else? Thanks, Bonnie.
This is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, everyone. So I really liked what the last woman just shared about her 2-minute toothbrush. I got an electric toothbrush last year, and I noticed, having to stand there for that 2 minutes. I haven't been as creative about incorporating stretches with it, but it just is very calming and settling, because I can't, hurry up and brush my teeth and run off and do something else. I have to actually stand there for 2 minutes, and it's very, because it kind of does not a beep, but when 30 seconds is up, so it's time to move on to the next quadrant. It's very deliberate and calming. And also I make a cup of espresso each morning, and it's just, the ritual of, dumping out yesterday's grounds, putting in new grounds, and getting the water. And I do it in a certain order because I've discovered if I don't do it in that order, I might forget to put the carafe back under where the espresso comes out and make a mess. And so I do it in a certain order so that it just is the same every day. And it's very relaxing, to have those sorts of rituals. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that, Michelle. That's great. Anybody else?
I think
Sarah?
a lot of people are feeling separated from the rituals that they normally do it, whether the Passover and having a big Passover meal with the whole family, or the people who are very religious and go to Good Friday services today. Certainly being cut off from that. We're going to Easter services, from even going to services of any kind. I think that is cut big. I think that's part of what people are missing about being at home, is not being able to be in those spaces, to be with those people, to do those things that they normally do, as ritualistic as it may be, but it is still feeling that separation.
Yeah, I hear you, Tarl, because, obviously Easter weekend has a lot of meaning for a lot of people, and it's really a time where we come together and as well. So, yeah, but we're being creative, I think. I know within different families, everybody's trying to get creative. My friend was on a call, and her dad's on his own, and, she got him an iPad, and now he's listening to Mass on his iPad every day. He doesn't do anything else with the iPad because he won't be able to get back to the Mass, but he's listening to Mass every day, and he's texting her now saying, I'm listening to Mass in Italy, and I'm listening to Mass, so sometimes when we lose something, we might gain something we'd never have had the opportunity to experience. But I completely hear you in terms of missing that connection, for sure. I hear you. Anybody else?
Well, going back to the toothbrush thing, for over 20 years, I've told all my patients their homework they're given is to work on their balance, because balance is so important, because it's the most important thing for a senior citizen, because most things happen from a fall, from lack of balance. And so since the electric toothbrush came around and had the little buzz, the 30-second quadrant, it was like you stand on one leg while you're brushing your teeth with your eyes open, then the other leg with your eyes open, and then your eyes closed and your eyes closed. So it was like, there's no excuse for not doing 2 minutes of balance work a day.
I love that. That's brilliant. I'm going to start doing that with my
much easier than trying to stretch and brush your teeth and not dribble all over everything.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah, for sharing that. Anybody else like to share anything? I'm going to stop the
Here.
recording. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, Mariana here. I just am realizing too this morning.